Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a head-to-head comparison of two kitchen workhorses, grinding machines versus blenders. We'll explore what each of them does best, their features, and yes, even talk pricing so you know what to expect when shopping. Let's get started. First up, what exactly is a grinding machine? In kitchens, a grinder is typically used for tasks like crushing spices, coffee beans, and even nuts. They often have a robust design focused on precision and efficiency. On the other hand, a blender is designed to liquefy and emulsify, from smoothies to soups, sauces, purees. Its powerful blades mix ingredients into a smooth, creamy consistency. While both appliances can seem similar at first glance, they are engineered with different purposes in mind entirely. A grinder usually has a more specialized design for dry ingredients, whereas a blender offers versatility for both liquids and semi-solid food. Let's break down the core features of each one, shall we? Now, grinding machines typically built with heavy-duty materials to handle tough and dry ingredients. Number two, they often come with adjustable grinding settings for coarse to fine textures. Number three, they are ideal for spices, coffee, and small quantity grains. Now, let's go on to blenders. Blenders, number one, features sharp multi-speed blades, ideal for blending, pureeing, emulsifying. Number two, it usually comes with multiple speed settings and sometimes preset functions. Number three, blenders are excellent for smoothies, sauces, soups, and even crushing ice. Now, a dedicated machine for each task is best, to always take into account. A grinder gives you that full flavor of your spices, consistent texture without overheating. A blender uses high-speed rotation with liquid motion, which achieves creamy consistency. Switching the machines and their functions overall and in the long term can actually lead to dull blades for the blender and engine failure over time for your grinder, because if you were to put wet with a grinder that is used to dry ingredients, the liquids or the creaminess of whatever it is you're blending can actually seep into the engine, and it's just, the repair is going to be messy long term. And the same thing, a blender's blades are usually they are more malleable when it comes to liquid and maybe like semi-soft foods like banana and fruits and things like that. So you're going to end up dulling the blade, because the blades in a blender need to be more intense, more sharp, and they must have crushing ability to deal with dry ingredients. Yeah. Now let's discuss the part that matters the most to majority of you, and that is the pricing, which varies based on quality, the intended use, and the brand of the device in particular. For typical consumer-grade kitchen grinders, you can expect to pay from 38,000 naira to 230,000 naira. Now, this range covers the basic models to the more advanced options and premium choices according to, the highest brands or the longest existing brands that have presence out there in the market. On the blender side, however, entry-level countertop models start around 45,000 naira and can go up to 460,000 naira for the high-end options that have smart features and preset programs. As always, don't forget to check recent reviews and compare features, check for sales and seasonal discounts, because things can change. Nothing is ever consistent forever. So here's a quick run of the pros and cons for each item, for each device. So first of all, we're going to start with grinders. Here are the pros for grinders. Number one, they are built for durability and heavy duty use. Number two, grinders are typically more quiet during operation than blenders. And that brings me to their cons. Now, their cons is that grinders require frequent cleaning for fine residues. Like I said, they usually have a more sensitive engine, though it's tougher, but it's sensitive, meaning if anything gets in there, the machine is as good as done. So you always need to open it up occasionally and check for things like that. Now, the next con that they have is that they are limited, meaning that one appliance, one use. So they cannot be interchanged or used to grind banana or fruits or smoothies or, wet stuff like that. Grinders should always be for grains and harder things that are not wet, that are typically dry, please. Now, that brings me to the pros for blenders. Now, blenders, one of their pros is that they come with additional accessories, like those cute little blending cups and like different blade sizes. Some of them, the first thing you see is that they have 3 blades, and then if you look deeper in the packet, you can see 4 blades, 6 blades. Some even have a special little sieve and things like that. Yeah. Number 2 for the pros for blenders is that blenders have multiple speed settings for different textures. So you can get creamy, pasty, and watery, I guess, since it mostly does with liquids and emulsifying. So those are your options. Blenders are versatile in the things that they can work with and create. Blenders can give you smoothies, creams, sauces, purees. They offer a lot more than grinders. Grinders usually just give you powder and I guess granules. That's it. But blenders also have their cons as well. So let's get to that. Their first con is that some models are noisy, especially at higher speeds. So when on their nozzle they have like 0 to 0, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you notice that the blender gets louder the higher the number goes. Yeah, so some blender models do that. Look out for that. And here is another downside to blenders. Like I said, they can blend dry things just like a grinder, but the blades will always end up being dull long term. So if you were to try using a blender for both uses, you find out that you're going to have to keep replacing the blades frequently all the time, because their blades are just not designed for such things. They can do it, but long term, forcing something to do what it's not naturally adept at, you can only imagine what's going to happen. But anyway, all I have to say is, so when choosing between these appliances, you have to think about your cooking habits. Do you need that dedicated grinder for fresh flavors, or do you value an all-in-one functionality like a blender provides? Ultimately, many benefit from both, as each appliance is unique and plays its own role. Thanks for watching. So all I have to say is thanks for watching in depth and joining me today at looking at grinding machines versus blenders. If you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Share your experiences with us in the comment sections. Until next time, bye.